I read a wonderful book by Bernardo Kastrup, Kastrup, who is an idealist philosopher, which would be meaning consciousness is fundamental. And he had written earlier books that were very analytic. And in fact, he calls the idealism he believes in analytic idealism. It was very rational and linear. And I liked what he had to say. But then he wrote another book called More Than Allegory. And it's about beliefs and how they point us to reality and how actually everybody in this world is living in a myth, and we believe in myths because you cannot know reality. Just realizing that is a fundamental doctrine. The scientific worldview is a myth. Along with all Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, they are all myths because they are our attempts to point at something that is beyond what our intellect and our concepts can really understand. And so what we're doing is we're trying to take the best myth that is most beneficial for us in helping us understand, pointing toward that reality that is the truth that cannot be known. And I like that because then I say, okay, well, how efficient is materialism? Well, in technology, it's very efficient. But in terms of saving the planet and interacting with other people, it is terrible. And so, okay, then we'll take materialism and those aspects can be used in certain ways. But then we will go to all these other myths, which really are showing us more clearly what they are truly pointing to in the way of consciousness. And I give you one example of many of these myths, which I love. They say that according to some of these, again, these might be, again, these what would we call them, pre-science myths, where a god decides that the god wants to create this beautiful reality, and it's a dream. And the god is really enjoying that reality, but then the god gets so enamored with it that he steps into his own dream. And boom, here we are, that God that stepped into our own dream, and now we've forgotten that we're really that being that is non-embodied, et cetera, that just created this for our own enjoyment and our own learning. And I think that's how I feel about it right now. It's like, okay, I will look at all the different myths and I will find the ones that feel more resonant to me in terms of explaining this time, space, gravity continuum that I'm in, and make my judgments in that way. It's not that I'm throwing out materialism, but it's like I'm adding to it in terms of making a myth that's much bigger than that.